Everybody's in Tailspire.
My Tailspire is attempting to update. Okay. I tried to open it and it just closed itself and I was like, the hell? So then I opened Steam and it's updating.
Yeah, they've done a couple updates since last played. Kind of on a, I think, bug fix frenzy right now.
Which is good. Oh, there was lights. Are we all here?
X is DnD Tailspire.
Yeah, I'm getting it booted, but I'm here. Oh. He's okay. Thanks, keyboard. My keyboard was slightly disconnected, so when I went into Tailspire, and it was like, which board do you want to join? And I went and tried to click on the thing. Instead, it inputted 67 of the letter H into the code thing. It just started typing H's.
Tailspire must not really want to let you in then.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Ah! You say that and then it pops me. It just had to, it was just waiting for someone to call it out, I guess.
Ah.
I love when technology does that, when like you'll be like, it's not working, can you help me? And then someone's like, what are you talking about? It's working just fine. And then you look at it and it is. If you've ever had that happen where like, say like a computer won't load something and then you tell your friend and then they look at it and they're like, it just loaded fine.
Alright, well, I'll give y'all a chance if y'all want to reposition yourselves before this dandy talk.
Well, there's 3 of us, so let's hope that the Arcane Eye notices.
Yeah.
If just for the sake of showing up to murder this thing.
Well, I'm sure the guards will be here not too soon. Or
Yeah.
soon.
Whoa, my frame rate, buddy. Tailspire, what are you doing? Oh, that's the problem. It reset my graphics settings for some reason.
Oh. Yeah, I guess I'll be sitting out here because I was calling that dragon. I'll be right here.
I'm gonna be at. Probably would have ran out to about here, because he ran up to the door when he was called, and then he probably comes out, sees the dragon, sees the monstrous being down the road, and is like, God damn it.
We'll say it's like as like Klaus, you look out, you hear the thud, you see this flash, and all of you immediately hear this like shriek in all of your minds. Roll initiative.
Sickness. I got a 20 on my initiative.
Oh, da. Can close Steam.
I was rolling terrible on them animal handling stuff last week for the dragon.
No surprise at all that Ophelia is going first. She has a plus 14 to her initiative.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. For some reason, some of the initiatives for characters are just insane.
She has.
Man, I only have a +2.
She got a 27.
Craig Stonefist. Who the fuck is that?
Like, ooh, that's a nice 10.
Then you want to roll initiative too, because you would have heard this. Or unless you're entirely focused on trying to fix your Iron Defender, and you just hear this shriek inside your mind.
This. I'll roll it, but I don't know what Singe is gonna do. He's gotta. I want to rebuild his Steel Defender, then I guess look for auto.
So I rolled a 10. Shield Guardian, this is -1. Rolled a 6.
Singe, what's your dexterity modifier?
+2.
Oh, so okay, I guess you and Otto are gonna go. Share the same turn then.
Sure.
I got a 10, my Steel Defender got a 6.
Yeah.
I'd not be surprised if we're at the bottom of the order.
Yeah. Interesting. While I'm in initiative mode, I can't lower my biplane.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a little difficult
To click on us because the building's in the way.
Okay, there's okay. Baylor. So Ophelia is going to sun is not fully... Sun is not fully up yet. We'll shadow step over here. And then charge blades out 30 feet. All she can do. You know, she'll use her action to dash to make it all the way up to it. That'll be her turn.
Let's see here. I'll move 30.
The red marker next to it is where the pit is.
Okay. I'll move 30.
Oh yeah, it did just kind of create a hole, didn't it?
Yep.
God, we did the magical, Klaus. You caused the magical equivalent of if somebody walked into a fireworks stand with a lit match.
Like, you can definitely hear guards are coming, but it'll probably take the next round before we're actually able to engage.
I'm just going to. How long does this last? Casting time 1, duration. Doesn't say how long it lasts. I'm just going to cast Thunderclap on myself.
Okay.
That's my turn.
End of your turn. The Avaleth is going to use a legendary action to attack this poor fighter. Yeah, that's going to hit.
That is a disgusting looking creature.
Yeah, aboleths are an aberration.
If a fighter takes 21 points of bludgeoning damage and he is ground grappled by it.
He's really getting a beating. I see that thing just keep welling on him.
Alright, Otto is going to reach for Spyglass, but I'm going to roll to see which one he gets.
Oh.
One and two, it's the bad one. 3 and 4, it's the normal one. The bad one, he can't see beyond 30 feet.
God damn it. Otto.
He's gonna make 2 Eldritch Blasts at disadvantage. Probably, it's like...
He looks through it and it looks like he's just like looking in one of those funhouse mirrors that zooms everything out.
Yep.
It's just like the street and everything gets stretched into the distance.
Well, alright, first one hit. Pretty well, 15 and 17. It's 15. Alright, the 17 damage to it. And second one, disadvantage. Natural 1.
Oh,
He's gonna shoot it at his own foot.
So y'all just see him as like he holds his hand out and just goes real wide, just into the air, hitting nothing.
this fires directly upwards.
Yep.
Like, oh no, what's that up there?
He was doing finger guns, shooting around.
Alright, Singe.
I know I gotta spend like a full minute, which is like 10 rounds, but maybe I'll just like roll a d10 or something to see how long it takes delay on this Steel Defender reconstruction.
Sure.
Alright. 2 rounds, so I'll be out for this round and the next.
Alright. Alright, Failer.
Singe is feeling hasty. Alright, see, what I want to do is an excellent question, because that's quite the distance.
Buckets of acid being dumped out the window.
See, I don't... Oh, I'm measuring from the balcony.
That's going right on top of Phalar's head. It's going onto the porch and through the cracks right on top of his head.
Because a 30 doesn't get me very far. This is a very big city.
Yes, it is.
It's almost 80 feet to the next building over.
Yeah, it's a large city.
You're gonna have to dash probably.
Most likely, I will have to. Yeah.
I mean, you
Lucky for a
could
month.
dash and use your cunning action to dash.
I can
again.
cunning. Yeah, cunning to dash. Let me check something real quick here. What is the range on my 60? What's my total distance to this fiend? I know it's not a fiend, but 148. Okay, I'm going to cunning action dash. So I'm going to go 60 feet from my current location, just straight towards it. And then I'm going to see... What am I at now? Base to base. Still about 90. Okay.
Well, what's the where you gonna shoot at it?
I was looking to see what my different ranged options had as their range. Short bow has 80 to 320, Ray of Sickness has 60, and Mind Sliver has 60. So I think
if it's 80 120, that means 80 you're within range.
it's 80 320 for the short bow.
Okay.
So anything beyond 80 would have to
Would be a disadvantage.
disadvantage, yeah. I'm just checking my stuff here. What is my... Too many things within 60. Tell you what I'll do. Yeah, I will use my main action to dash again. I was just trying to see if there's anything I could do, so that would be... What's the math on that? Would that be doubling the 60, so my total would be 120, or with double dash?
Yeah.
So just move another 60?
Yep.
Alright, so that gets me up to here. And that's pretty much all I'm going to be capable of doing. However, I'm still going to check, what did that put me within? Okay, that's well within to do all of my shit. So that's my turn. I just
Okay.
ran very fast.
On its turn, it's going to. Yeah, it's going to continue to. You see, it's like as it has its tentacles kind of wrapped around the spider, it's instead it's more like it's picking it up and just slamming this poor guy on the ground twice. Actually, no, 3 times.
Oh,
20, that hits. 23, that hits. 21, that hits. Let's roll all the dice. $60, 10 plus 4.
Damn.
Jesus.
Rolling tail spire.
Throw them on top of the guy. Woo!
Damn.
One of those was a 10, I think, as well.
Yeah, one of them was a 10.
What have I done? I've pointed it out. This poor fighter.
30 plus. So takes 38 points of damage. You watch as it like slams it twice, slams it again, and as it slams it the 3rd time, you watch this poor guy's skull just crack, and he goes still.
That's a nice picture. That's some cool perspective. That also, the one that Singe just sent in the campaign images, that's a cool angle, but it also gives the "he's right behind me, isn't he" thing.
And then it's like as its head is basically cracked and split, it just kind of just picks it up again. It just tosses him down the street. Where he just ragdolls. And then it turns.
Ophelia, no.
Guardian's turn.
Yeah. So
What's the
Alexa's going
movement on your
to.
Guardian?
It's 30 as well. It just makes very large strides.
This is gonna dash.
Yeah, it's gonna dash. It's gonna get itself up here. Oh. No. That then puts it within, I believe, base to base. I just turned off the measuring tool. 34. I think that. Yeah, it's within 60 feet of me, so I now have the split damage. And that was its action. It doesn't have bonus action stuff that it can do here. So that's the Shield Guardian. It just moved. Very effective, I know.
I'm surprised it doesn't have a bigger movement with how big those legs are on that thing.
Yeah, it's because it's super heavy, because it's made entirely out of enchanted stone and wood.
he needs to be hitting the gym.
It's got 28 strength, I think, if I remember correctly. Or is it 18? One of the two. 18. It's got 18 strength and con, but its dexterity is 8.
So at the top of the round, Failer, as you get there, you see 4 guards come running down the street, and almost in synchronization, just completely surrounded, shields up, spears out, and all 4 of them gonna make their attacks. Natural 20 for 1. Miss for 2nd. Miss for the 3rd. Miss for the 4th. On its crit, it is a whopping 9 damage.
That's where we get a lot of our maps, and then we'll fine tune them.
Here's just standing back there. You see at the corner of your eye. I put him.
How's it going, Chiquito?
Where is it? A black cat kind of come around one of the kind of pillars of the cavern. Looks over you. Doesn't say a word. You see this cat start to go a little transparent as the wind starts to pick up, as it expands, which you immediately recognize as the large wind elemental form of Ali. He can't really speak, but he just turns to you, nods, and just jets after towards this creature.
Something's about to happen with everybody getting here.
That'll be it. All right.
The sickness.
And our Lady Ophelia is going to take 3 attacks with her blades. 22 to hit, 24 to hit, and their one misses. Points of slashing damage. And 11 points necrotic. There are 11 points. And 18 points necrotic. Otto's turn.
Okay, I will. Go 30. And then reach into my pocket while they're fighting. There's a lot of people over there. And reach into my pocket and toss some meat at the ground and try and get the baby brass dragon's attention again.
Make another
Try and
animal
call it
handling.
12.
I'll say it comes about 5 feet closer. Kind of sniffs at the meat.
Bonus action. Let's see. I don't know if I have any bonus actions yet. Let's see here. Bonus action? No. So that will be my turn.
Otto will take another 2. He's gonna use his bonus action to. See, how far is he from it? No. Too far to heck, so he'll just do 2 Eldritch Blast at disadvantage. Miss. And hit.
Is he still using the spyglass?
Yep. Alright, 11 points. The Otto's turn. And if Otto's turn, it's going to use a legendary action. Look over at you, Phalar, and you just hear this. You just hear this ear-piercing scream in your mind. I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Boink. 17.
You take 11 points of psychic damage, and your next attack roll is at disadvantage.
All right.
It's just that scream is so ear piercing. It's almost like throwing you off balance a little bit. And the fact that you've never seen such a strange creature.
I'm going to imagine, it probably, I don't know if anybody here has heard it before, but it probably sounds a bit like, Gravelord Nito from the first Dark Souls game.
Yeah, probably a little like that.
If you've ever heard what he sounds like.
Say Ascend, you're just working on your, defender?
Yep. It says I need a spell slot, and I've spent 2, but I don't remember what for. So I don't know if I should burn 1 more while I do it.
I know you spent 1. I thought you'd cast that revive on it before all this happened.
I don't have such a spell. I think I remember Cure woundsing someone on the street or something. That's it.
Yeah, I think that was when Otto went bananas and started eating a person.
Oh, did you not take a long rest after that, Sims? We had one after that.
I don't know. Did y'all take a long rest?
Yeah,
We did.
I think we did, but then you decided then those sigil went off and.
Yeah.
I know Otto went to his room to rest. Singe followed him to update him on a new situation.
Oh
about
yeah, we
street.
did. We did a long rest, and then in the morning, Otto woke up, went out the door, got blasted by the sigil.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mainly remember that because of the fact that Phalar was downstairs because he had his hole downstairs and was in it and fell asleep while writing in a book.
Yeah.
Because there was the whole thing of he woke up and rushed up the stairs and went, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah, I was over at Silas's house, meditating and talking with Ophelia all night.
Right. Maybe I long rested it and it just didn't clear the levels correctly then, and I'll just burn one of these.
Alright.
And yeah, that's my last turn waiting.
Alright, Phalar.
Alright. So is it just like indefinitely until I make my next attack roll?
Yep.
Alright.
So it'd basically only be for this turn.
If I choose to make something that requires a roll, if not, do I still have it?
Until you make an attack, it's there.
Alright, so like for example, if I did something that required a save instead, then I would still have it on me until I did something that causes a roll.
Yep.
Could you imagine someone encountering this situation and then just forgetting about why they have it the next session because they end up not using an attack roll the entire session, so then it just becomes a thing for the whole campaign? And they're just like, the DM is eventually just like, you know, you could have just attacked something.
Yep.
Alright, let's see here. So, this, I don't know if it's going to end up actually having that much of an effect, but I might as well, considering it's a thing that I can try. Actually, hold on. Doesn't this let me... Yeah, okay. I am going to use my I'm going to use my bonus action to do my vital sacrifice.
Alright.
So that's 1d6 necrotic damage to myself. That's 6. I don't know if we ruled that explosive applies to that or not.
No, I think it's only...
Because it's just pretty much slicing my palm with a knife.
Yeah, I think it's only like damage rolls for attacks and spells.
Yeah.
All that.
So direct damage, not like damage causing effects.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I've got a blood boon now. So with that, I am going to, at this range, what's my exact? Okay, so that's within... If I do this, it would be plus 8. Alright, I'm going to attempt to hit it with Ray of Sickness, because I am within range, so that will
Alright.
be at disadvantage.
Yep.
So first I'm going to use my blood boon to give myself a bonus d6 on it. That's why I did that first.
Okay.
Because one of the things it can do is a d6 tier to hit, but I'm going to of course roll both of the dice first to see if I hit to begin with. That's probably going to be my lower.
Yeah.
Alright, so 12
on this.
plus a d6. Boink. That makes it 15.
Still misses.
Damn. Alright, so now I need to mark that I used that. That was Ray of Sickness. Ray of Sickness is used. I get that once per long rest. It's from Shadow Touched. So that one is now out. That was my bonus action to get the Blood Boon to try and charge that to make it hit better, but it didn't hit anyway, so that was my action to try and hit. So I have again instantly used my turn.
Yep.
It was tied between trying to do that or trying to Evil Eye it, but then I was like, this thing's probably gonna save against the Evil Eye.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know its stats and I'm not expecting you to say them, but I'm just gonna give that a guess given what it is.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Alright.
Wait, what's my range on it again? 30. I'll back up by like 5 feet. Alright.
Alright, gets his legendary actions back. And it's going to make...
Unfortunately.
I'm probably seeing... what it's going to do.
It wants to just sit there and let us beat on it.
It's gonna call out in a psychic taunt and be like, "You'll never kill me," and that uses its action and bonus action.
Yeah, it's going to... Even though it's surrounded, it's going... use a... Psychic Lance on you, Valar. So you see its one eye focus on you. And that same scream you felt in your mind amplifies by like 10, encompassing all of your, where you have to put your hands on your head to recover. I need you to make a intelligence saving throw for me.
Alright. It immediately hit the building. 10. Lovely. That's what I get for hitting the side of this guy's wall with my die.
Y'all want to hear a sound that's nightmare inducing?
Yeah.
I found it. Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt. You take 48 points of psychic damage.
Oh, damn.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm within distance of my guardian, so it cuts it in half, but that still hurts. By the way, I just sent it in the general chat. That's what I'm imagining the scream sounds like, is that.
Yeah,
It's, I feel like that's pretty accurate.
We need a soundboard bot so we can put in here and do sounds and stuff.
yeah.
I like the first comment
You
on
are
that.
stunned till the end of your next turn.
Oof.
Great. So that was how much damage?
48.
It says 24 to me and 24 to the Guardian. Surprisingly is not immune to psychic damage, just poison.
And
Dear God.
yeah, it's gonna be end of its turn.
I am already almost to half health.
Damn.
Well, lucky for you, that's a recharge ability.
Lucky for everyone else, I just ate half the damage because of my Guardian.
If it wasn't for your guardian, it would have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, that's still a heavy hit though, because I'm a glass cannon. I only have like 80 health maximum. That was a quarter of my HP in a single hit. It's funny too, because I have high con for a rogue. I have 16. Alright, that's
I bet
30
it-
foot still out of range.
when it screamed at you, I bet it sounded like this.
Now see, I sent the Gravelord Nito death scream in the general chat. That's whenever somebody says that something makes like a piercing scream, I can only envision that because Nito's scream is absolutely terrifying the first time you hear it, because you actually hear it before you enter his boss arena. So before you even know who you're about to fight, you just hear this piercing scream and you're just like, what the f- Still think one of the comments on that video was great, which is I would scream and immediately attack too if I found someone that broke into my house. Right, so that's 30 feet of movement. That would be enough to put next to me. However, I'm just quickly reading this. What is attack roll hits? Okay, yeah. Elijah's going to come right up next to me here. As far as I can get it. Boink. Now if I dash, the question is, would it even put me within? Yeah, I'd still be out of range if I dashed. Or do I have? Does have 10-foot reach. Ooh. I think. Guess that then. Hold on, I'm just doing a quick math here. Okay, I'm going to keep Alatia next to me this turn solely because if I dash, I would be within melee range, but that would also consume action, so they'd still have to wait.
Ah, okay.
Plus, there's a thing I can do with my guardians within 5 feet of me, so I figure I'll keep it there for now just in case that ends up triggering.
Okay.
So yet again, all that me and Elijah have done is move.
Basically what you've done this entire fight is move.
I mean, all things considered, Phalar is a little bit out of his game right now because he was like not expecting this.
Alright, so that's it for Latias.
Yeah.
Alright, top of the round, guards are gonna make their attacks.
It does heal 10 though, and I opened Steam.
Miss. Hit. Hit. Miss. So 2 hit, 1 misses. Wow. Takes 18 points of damage.
Hey, that's something.
But you do notice that it seems like the weapons of these guards are not having much of an effect on it.
It's not staggering to the pain.
See, then Ollie's gonna make his attacks. Yeah, that's gonna hit. Mm. 12 points of damage. $14 points of damage. Then Lady Ophelia is going to make her attacks. Advantage because of flanking. Yeah, 28 to hit. And second one misses. Third one hits. Wow, 30 points of slashing damage.
Damn.
Yeah, I rolled a lot of 8s. I rolled a lot of it's the exploding dice. And then necrotic for both. $14 points of necrotic. 12 points of necrotic. It's looking not so great now.
Ooh.
All right, Klaus.
Uh,
Beyonce just whooped it.
yeah. Well, I think they have that handled over there. I'm going to, let's see. Cast. That's a ritual and it takes forever, so I can't do that right now. I will walk 10 feet up to the brass dragon.
Alright.
And I don't want to get too close and scare it off, and then try and call it over some more. I'll get down, like squat down, and try and call it over to me some more.
Make another animal handling.
Come on. We get a good one. 10.
Say. Let's step back about 2 feet.
Right. That'll be my turn then.
Otto's gonna put the spyglass down, realizing that he picked the wrong one.
Oh my god, finally.
He will move to the edge of the railing. Make attacks. 28 to hit. And second one misses. Uh, 10 damage. Alright, Singe.
Finally getting that steel defender up and going again. Climbs inside. And is gonna give him a command to just run out there and look for Faye and run toward him.
Yeah, so, yeah, so you come out, you see Faye's all the way at the end of the street near this thing.
And there's probably some kind of like heat wave looking distortion around me because I've probably got some kind of psionic resonance going on in my head right now. Because I'm currently stunned.
Yeah, you see Faye kind of has a hand on his head and is just swaying in place.
I look drunk.
Yeah, that and in your perspective, the entire world's spinning at about 100 miles an hour.
Oh, I got like that static vision, like having iron deficiency and standing up too fast.
Yeah.
Is there a roll or anything to jump the railing? 15-foot drop.
And yeah, making athletics. Your defender. It'd be whatever D20 plus their strength modifier.
This 14.
Yeah, I'll say you like 3-point land and don't take any damage.
Rest of his dash. Puts him next to Klaus as he's running up the street. And
You now see this small kind of brass dragon is like, it's like taking half a step back and it's just like, the eyes are wide, it looks terrified.
just totally focused on getting to his buddy Faye. Since he dashed, he kind of used all his actions up.
Alright.
That's it.
What the? Why is...
You know, kind of have to feel just a little bit bad for this creature because it isn't supposed to be in this plane of existence by nature, and it just kind of suddenly appears in the middle of who knows where, and it's getting wailed on.
Phalar, you're stunned. That's all you can.
So I can't take action, bonus action, reaction. So I'm just here.
You're stunned. Now you're unstunned.
That's yeah. But like, imagine you're just chilling in your house, drinking your coffee in the morning, and then suddenly you teleport into a downtown metropolis and start getting kicked in the ass. That's
Alright.
probably how Diablos feels.
Yeah, it's gonna make 3 tentacle attacks against 3 different guards. That hits.
Oh god, guard massacre.
That hits. And miss.
I'm surprised more guards haven't shown up.
Oh, more are coming. It's just that it's gonna take it's gonna take them like 2 or 3 rounds just for more to show up.
If we end up killing it and then the other guards don't tell the guards that are coming that we took care of it and they show up and there's just nothing.
See, one tentacle goes flying out, smacks this guard in the face. You see, it's like part of its helmet is just dent in. Eyes go white, and this one falls. Next one. And this one is down.
Okay. It's got all the guards, besides 2.
And let's see. See if it leans back. It does.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's its action. Yeah, that's all I can do.
Alright. Phalar, having gotten hit pretty hard by this thing's power, is like, alright, this thing is strong. I am still blurry-eyed. Alatio, go deal with it. That's going to be 30 feet forwards, and that should be well within 10 feet for reach. Yeah. I could reach almost halfway through it.
Yeah, it would have advantage because of flanking.
Ooh, that's nice. This has the potential to completely whiff or be a very heavy hit. Alright, so it's multi-attack, it's 2 fist attacks, so we're gonna roll at advantage. Die 1. 19, and die 2.
To a 12.
Yeah, I love how d20s are, don't you? So it's a 19.
That hits.
Alright. Damage. 2d6 plus 4 bludgeoning and 2d6 force. Boink. 12 bludgeoning, that is, I believe, that's considered magical because it's,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a construct and it's magic, so.
Yeah, so it'll take it all.
And 2d6 force. 6.
It's looking real
Force
hard.
damage. Then second attack. First roll. 23.
Yeah.
Second roll, got a fish for the crit. As always.
Yep.
I think I just delete. Nope. Okay.
Yep, 23 definitely
So-
hits.
2d6 plus 4 bludgeoning. Landed on its head. No, I hit the person and said 7.
Alright.
And 2d6 force. One of those is a 6. Don't know where that went. 1. So that's 12 force.
How do you want to do this?
So, kind of in like that way that I said, when Phalar kind of shakes his head, and he looks up at Elatia, then looks forward, and then still kind of slouched over, he just sharply points out towards it, and then Elatia charges forward, and the first hit's going to be kind of like a lunge downwards across its face, and then the second's going to come back up underneath of its head. So kind of like TKO.
Alright.
So like it pushes it, punches it down towards the ground, and then comes up with an uppercut. And the model also flips backwards, so that's perfect.
So out of combat. So given know what happens, you know the arcane eye is probably going to come pretty darn soon. So I'll say. I'll say you have 2 RL minutes to do what you need to do before they come down like a force and contain this scene.
I'm gonna yell at Lady Ophelia to come over here. We have to get somewhere safe before it gets too crowded, and then I'm gonna try and tell the baby dragon to follow me if it doesn't want to be captured and experimented on.
Make another animal handling. Gotta coax it.
Can I?
I'll say with the Lady Ophelia
All
helping, I'll give you advantage.
Okay, I was going to say. I had charm person within a person, so it's an advantage. Roll. 12.
I'll say like if you're like holding out meat, it'll follow you from a distance.
All right, and I'm just gonna book it to Silas's house. Have it. I'll throw the meat in, or throw it in after we get inside.
And yep, Lady Ophelia will book it.
So, I'm gonna ask if I can General Grievous this and say a fine addition to my collection and see if this thing has blood.
Got about 20 seconds left.
Yeah, exactly. He would have already pushed up. So,
Yeah.
does it bleed? Would I be able to collect a pint to put with my player blood?
Yeah, make a survival check to see if you can get an adequate.
Collect it effectively.
Yeah.
Alright. That's a dirty 20.
I'll say you can get a small vial.
Alright.
When I make it inside Silas's house, I want to try and contact him and say, we might have problems. Can he come to Vale?
I'd say, Phalar is kind of in the mindset of, yeah, he was part of killing this thing, but he doesn't really understand why it's here. He doesn't really, you know, think he's in like any imminent threat of, you know, he didn't cause the trouble, he helped solve it, so he's not going to be up in the thing's face, because, you know, Klaus was like, oh, we gotta go, but he's not gonna, like, bail from the situation, because he's not, like, entirely of the mindset of, I didn't cause this, I'm not in trouble kind of thing.
I'd say right as you start heading down the street, there's 4 flashes of white light as you see these massive behemoths of figures appear, completely surrounding this figure.
So Phalar's probably leaned back against this wall, all, you know, covered in cuts and stuff, and Alatia's just standing there looking at the figures.
I was just trying to get Lady Ophelia out of there, because I know they're going to see a vampire, probably notice the vampire and the dragon.
Yeah.
More troubles.
It's just Phalar is like, he knows that you tend to have your reasons, or Klaus tends to have reasons for things. Klaus said, hey, let's go, but Phalar is also like, I'm pretty badly hurt, I'm just gonna sit here, I didn't do any of this.
I will say I'm disappointed, that's a lot of materials laying on the ground over there. A lot of skeleton or zombie soldiers I left behind.
There's that magic item too that dropped.
Yeah, I know, it's down in the pit.
Yeah.
So while the arcane eye is there, I'm going to pop my flask of alcohol, as I called it in a typo to a friend earlier today, to trigger my amulet of the drunkard for 4d4 plus 4 healing.
Alright.
2, 3, 4. So if any of those guys look, if any of those guys look over, they're just going to see Phalar chugging a pint, sitting against the wall. So that's 16. It's not bad.
As you reach out to Silas, he's like, "What is it?"
Arcane Eye. Invel. May be a problem. Explain details later.
Go to my bedroom. There's a teleportation. Come meet me at the Citadel.
Kind of hard. I have a baby brass dragon in your house.
I'm sorry. What?
Yes, like I said, details to follow. There's a baby brass dragon I had.
A
following
baby
me to your
bass?
house. Yeah, baby bat.
It's like Ark when you have a fish for a pet and it just follows you in a little water bubble.
There was an apparition. It's a lot to explain.
Fine, I'm coming.
He's like, a what in my house?
It's like that thing from SpongeBob where the one fish is like, "You what?"
Chocolate?
Chocolate.
You probably as you're sitting there drinking, one of the cruisers just turns and stares at you, and then turns its head through its dark mask and just stares over at Alatia.
Phalar probably is looking over, watching them as well, and probably looks up at Alatia. Alatia looks back at him, mental connection, then looks at the big guy, and Phalar just kind of calls out, slightly out of breath still, wiping alcohol from his face, clears his throat, and he just, the big statuey one is with me. It is my guardian. It helped fell that creature. I'm just recovering.
It doesn't speak, but you just see it point down the street. You get it. It just points at you, points at the Alatia, and then points down the street.
And Phalar, picking up on it, probably pretty easily, because, he's like, yes, I will be on my way in just a moment. I just need just a few seconds to catch my breath. I will be in no trouble.
It nods, then turns back around.
I'd say, after Phalar, recaps and twists the thing onto the flask, puts it back in his bag, takes his pouches and stuff, situates them, picks everything up, kind of does like the come on wave as he turns from Alatia.
Probably by this point,
And they're both gonna
Klaus, that you
go
hear
headed away.
You hear the sounds of footsteps on the second floor, kind of coming, and then footsteps, and then coming down the stairs. Why is there a dragon in my house? You muted?
Hello? Sorry.
Yeah.
I had my mic raised when I was coughing.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So what I was saying, Silas, was I had sold that deck that you had given me. It had just a few cards left in it. And I sold it to make some money and get it out of my hair, because I didn't want them. And the idiot took them from me and went straight down the street and opened them. He took one out, and something happened, and he dropped them all, and all this card's effects took effect, and this baby dragon spawned, a pit opened in the ground, this giant aberration appeared, a whole bunch of other stuff. It was madness in the streets.
Oh dear.
And I saw that the arcane eye was coming, so I wouldn't even let this dragon fall into the hands of it. I figured it could be a great help to our cult. And then let me introduce you to Lady Ophelia.
She turns and nods with a smile towards him. Oh, I see. Pleasure, my lady. He gives a slight nod.
Yes. We will have time for more introductions later in more detail. But for now, we need to figure out this arcane eye situation.
Yes, let's get away from them. You know they're still hunting me.
Sorry, I know. But some of my party is still out there, and another old friend is out there too. So my first priority was to get these two to safety before I went back out there. But we need to come up with some type of idea to distract the arcane eye. So the other ones can come over. Do you have any connections in the city that can cause a ruckus to divert the arcane eye's attention?
You see him reach from his pouch, pull out a sending stone and saying, "Send to do another recruitment example, just like last time."
Okay, thank you, Silas. And we need to get that aberration body. It'd be great materials for your research. And when the guy opened the cards, I saw it casted a spell for a item. I don't know how good the item is, but it fell in the pit with him. But those two things we should try and recover for the cult. I think it would be of great help. Gosh, my throat. Well, what's going on with Singe and Phalar?
Yeah.
Combat's over. I think Singe slows down. He's a bit intimidated by the crowd, big tall crowd forming around it, and once Faye starts passing by him, he just tries to naturally walk along with his party.
Yeah, we were probably heading kind of like in the general direction that he saw you going, but you know, he wasn't fully paying attention, but he's probably also, once he meets up with Singe middle of the road, he probably looks at him and he's like, "That's creature, it had very potent psionic capabilities. My head was completely lost. I've experienced power of the mind before, but that was something beyond what I've seen."
Where did it come from?
I'm not entirely sure. I know one of our party members had stepped outside, was talking with someone, and then suddenly that. At least I think he was talking with someone. I heard speech, but I was still disoriented by the other events that have happened.
As y'all
Sorry, I'm
as
late.
y'all kind of head in that direction, you see more flash of lights. If you see all four of these large figures vanish, as well as with the creature.
And then, Phalar will kind of get like a slight smirk on his face, and then he holds up the vial, and he's like, I did manage to collect a blood sample, however. So there is that.
Ooh, a new material.
Yes.
But I am sorry for being late. I was resting with our shady friend, and he suddenly got up and left, and the room exploded. I was delayed reassembling my armor.
Ah, yes, see, that is what woke me up this morning. I fell asleep looking through the herbology book that I had picked up for my lab. Still not entirely sure what caused those explosions. Maybe it was the same source as this creature, but whatever it is, it definitely feels like we've got interference happening in the background.
Seems like a bad dream. We should get some.
Yes.
And you shift over to the house. Silas kind of being quiet for a while. Kind of motions with his hand. And says, they're gone. They must have taken the body.
Damn it. That'd have been good research material. Alright, let me go and try and get the rest of the party. Hold on. And I'll open the door and come outside. And since I can't really yell at the party because of my mask, I'll try and wave my staff and stuff. Get their
Yoo-hoo!
attention. Maybe I can, let's see.
We have to make like a roll to see if we see. And Phalar probably would if Singe doesn't.
I'll say both of you make perception checks.
He is buzzed out of his mind right now from the effects of the thing, probably. I'd imagine that that's not like an instant fade. It probably feels like he's hungover.
Yeah. So I'll say if you want to
Which
make,
is a new feeling for Phalar.
I'll say if you want to make it a disadvantage because of Vex.
Yeah. I wouldn't normally like cave to that sort of suggestion, but I feel like it's thematic, so I'll go with it. It's
Yeah,
flavor.
it just fits.
Alright, I don't think it's gonna get any lower than that. I'm only gonna roll the 1.
Yeah, I'll say you're.
I don't think it's possible to get any lower than a nat 1, so I'm not even gonna roll the second die.
Yeah, you don't see a damn thing.
I'd imagine like pretty much what I'd imagine is like in like movies or games when like a character gets knocked out and their vision's going in and out. That's probably what's happening to Phalar right now. He's still not at full health either. He's still missing like a quarter of his health. So
I'll say since you don't see anything either. You're guess too distracted on.
conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
That point right there next to them, after I see they're not looking at me, I want to shoot a firebolt at that point.
Okay.
Ball or bolt?
I think
Just
you
a
said.
bolt of
I think you
fire.
said bolt.
Yeah, bolt, a cantrip. I'm not doing fireball. Bolt.
Just Arcane Eye shows up, leaves, and then they're just back because of the random fireball.
Yeah, so you definitely see like that spark of a fire on the street.
I think Phalar kind
Ah.
of shakes his head a little bit, and he's like, Is that just me, or
I'll say at that point you both kind of look in that direction. Do you see Klaus down the street waving, going, trying to get y'all's attention?
Still fire in his hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it looks like
and
he.
he's
Now
just
it
like,
almost seems
It
like
wasn't
he's.
just me.
Now it seems like he's on the verge of trying to create smoke signals.
He's like, it wasn't just me. Well, Sin, Jalatia, let's move. It seems that our friend is calling us over.
And as I see
Of course,
them,
Alatia probably understood up to the let's move part.
as I see them start walking, I'll start heading back inside.
Alatia's doing some acrobatics there.
Standing on a street lamp.
It's like the Brontosaurus I saw yesterday when I was playing Ark Survival. It was standing with 1 foot on a rock 20 feet off the ground. Like, I don't think that's how that... Over the cutoff
This is a
point.
big home.
Yes, It is. I mean, in a trade district such as Vale, you're bound to have some rather opulent individuals.
As I see them come in, I'm gonna ask if the arcane eye asked them anything, or what happened with the arcane eye.
I wasn't asked anything. They were just shooing me away, and I told them that I would be on my way. They had shown up, they surrounded the body, I'm sure you saw that. They appeared to be studying it, and I was recovering a bit, and one of them turned around, saw my guardian, saw me, and pointed down the street, so I went on my way and they vanished.
And they took the body with them.
Yes, I do believe so.
Damn it! I needed at least some parts of that body for experimentation with Silas.
I did manage to collect roughly 4 ounces of its ichor, its blood, if you will, but I'm unsure what I want to do with it quite yet. I might see if it has any potential with my little experiment as well.
Silas just waves his hand and doors close.
Would you be willing to trade that for a potion of etherealness?
I will consider that. It's intriguing because I myself am also ethereal, so that is intriguing, as I've said, but I'm not sure what I want to do with it quite yet, since I would like to figure out what kind of potency it might have. Above table, or not, I guess, yeah, partially above table. The 4 ounces is 1 vial in his inventory, so
Yeah, I'll say depending on what you do with it, it'll probably be maybe at most 1 to 2 uses. You'd be able to get out of it.
Well, since the arcane gone, eye's gone, we'll have. We'll see if we can go over there later and see if there's anything we can scrounge from the battle. But in the meantime, Silas, we need our party members here need some very exquisite clothing. We have a where's the quest log at?
All right, yeah, that. I completely forgot about that because we were fighting a monstrous being in the street.
We have a noble's masquerade ball to head to, and these two need some good attire. And then, if Lady Ophelia would like a new dress to go, if she would like to go with us,
He
she would need something
nods.
also.
Ah, yes. I've heard of this ball. I think I was invited for some stupid reason, but
Likely due to your high status, I'd imagine.
yes, but what I have going on, I don't really have time for such nonsense.
Baylor will kind of hold up his hand for a moment, like towards, like in like the 1 second thing towards Klaus, and he'll be like, if it interests you or your associate, I'm unsure what I am yet to do with the vial of blood I've collected from the creature that we've just slain, but I do have Slayer blood within my portable lab if you would like me to donate any. I've got a pint, so that's enough to fill a few vials.
Interesting.
Because we encountered it, there was a group of Slayers in an abandoned, seemingly, temple. Managed to collect the few vials worth. And then he kind of smirks a little bit, and he's like, and my friend here also uh, touched their brine pool, I believe, which was not a great decision, but
It's like you see Silas just like face palm.
yes, that is the exact same reaction that the vampire lord I told that had. It seems to be quite a cool equal response.
Lucky didn't stick his head into a tadpole pool. Would have been a far lot worse.
I suppose so, yes. That being said, I don't want to keep you held up any longer from the request that Klaus has made.
Silas, we should go into the next room. There's some business I need to discuss with you and Lady Ophelia before we head off to get outfits for everyone.
He'll nod and walk into the next room. Then Lady
Say
Ophelia
in the
will
meantime,
whoop.
before the door shuts, Phalar kind of calls into the next room and he's like, I'm going to find an open spot and see if I can determine anything about this blood while you guys discuss.
I think the only thing you'll hear is, I'm going to find a spot. That's about all he's able to hear before it's cut off.
That being said, Valar probably find the most open area that he can, making sure that anything that is movable is out of the way, and then he's gonna unfurl his lab and hop down in while they're talking. And Singe is more than welcome to come down, because I'm sure there's probably just enough room for 2 people to fit in there.
I should probably check on Otto, since he'll probably want to join us.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about Otto.
Singe will probably leave to go get him, check his room.
Um, as we're in here,
All right.
I will tell Silas, let me reintroduce you. This is Lady Ophelia Duskvale. Her father is Varneth Duskvale, and she is my fiance.
I see.
He is the lord, a lord in um
Shadowfell.
Shadowfell. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was thinking Duskvale for some reason. Shadowfell. Um, and I think they could be a very powerful ally for us. I came into a marriage contract with them and offered them part of my gems I've been getting from you from the mine for her hand in marriage.
I see.
And they have their own trade route. I believe this could be a good thing for us in the cult, providing us with things from the Shadowfell more easily and setting up good connections there. And then I need you to take that brass dragon with you to our stronghold for safekeeping and have it be raised there to become an asset to the cult.
You realize brass dragons are lawful good dragons.
I'm sure Silas can experiment and make it not so lawful.
This also comes down to the philosophy of, is it lawful good by nature or lawful good by being raised to be?
I mean,
I think by nature they're lawfully good.
who sets lawful really? It's the people in power. If what me and Silas say is lawful and upright and standing, it may differ from somebody else in power. So
I believe that
it's
that's
all
what we
by
call chaotic.
perspective. It's all based on perspectives of what you think is lawful or not.
I think
I've always liked the idea that, like, lawful for a character, be it lawful evil, lawful neutral, or lawful good, could mean, like, they might be following the law, or they're just following a specific set of moral code from somewhere else.
and you see him kind of look over to Philia and saying, "I take it due to her nature, they required you to join the undead."
They have. I will become a vampire.
Good. That is a setback anyway. But yes, I'll make the arrangements for her family to get the crystals.
All right. I'll send word back to her father. Also, it's just came to my mind important. I don't know if you remember a fella from a few years ago, Ollie. He was
Ah,
helping us.
yes.
Yes. Well, when we went to the Shadowfell, when all that stuff happened with Endonia and the temple, I asked for his help when I was dealing with Endonia's mother, and I got a disturbing message from him. So we went to the Shadowfell, and it seems Vecna's cult is rebuilding and getting power and stuff. I don't know what they have planned or what they're trying to do right now, but they did attack him in the Shadowfell.
Well, from what I've read, Malakath there, one of his lieutenants, is also a lich. So most likely, when you encountered him those years ago, I don't think you... I think when you took him out, you only enraged him. This phylactery wasn't destroyed, he just came back. I've been plotting since.
I think the same thing, but I just wanted to let you know so you can watch your back and the cult can be on lookout.
He nods.
Oh, I guess we should rejoin the others.
So, since Phalar's been down in his whole lab right now during their discussion, the basic thing that I was gonna ask if I could do is like, since the Vampire Lord had told Phalar, like, you know, the potency of the Mind Flayer blood and everything,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I could make like an Arcana check or something to see if like I can compare the like how much resonance I feel coming off of the Aboleth blood compared to it to feel if it seems stronger.
Yeah.
Like if you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, this fire is hot, but is this fire hotter?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll it.
See how far I can throw this. Wah! 21.
Seems like that new blood you got has way more. You feel way more psionic power coming from it than the
So
Mind
it's like
Flayer.
it's like a concentrated juice version of it.
Yeah, basically.
So I could probably what say a vial of the Mind Flayer blood would get done, I'd probably be able to use like a quarter of the vial or just like an ounce of this to do.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's the main part that I wanted to know about it.
I wonder what that brass dragon's done in that room while we were talking. Probably destroyed everything trying to get all that food.
I mean, there's meat on the table, so it's probably eaten that.
Yeah, it's probably just dug through all the cupboards, thrown everything around.
Balar has just not paid any attention to it, by the way. He's fully focused on what he's doing, so. It's likely that there is no longer any meat on that table.
So I'll say, like, as door opens, you see Salis walk in, like, what the hell?
Balar is probably halfway up the ladder out of the hole as the door opens, and he looks over and he's like, ah, it appears that the dragon has found something to eat. I was focused. I could not keep an eye on it. I was 10 feet below the floor.
You see, the pie is gone, all the meat is gone. You see, it's like now it's more like it has its paws on like the head of lettuce is now like pulling at it. You see, it's like takes a bite and then just goes.
I think he kind of looks left and right, and he's like, I thought that Singe was up here as well. He must have gone back to go and get Otto. And he kind of looks at Silas and Klaus, and he kind of points over to them, and as he gets out of the hole and is, you know, pulling it up at the edges and rolling it back up, stuffing it back into his bag. And he's like, I did discover, however, that that vial that I collected from the beast that we just slayed in the streets has significantly higher potential than the Flayer blood that I've collected. I believe that I would say somewhere between 2 to 3 times the potency, as a matter of fact.
As we shift over in the street to Singe, as you come over, you see Otto is just like sitting on the ground, staring at this spyglass. Now just looking through it backwards, like the backwards end, trying to figure out why it's not working.
He's just completely dumbfounded by it, so that's where he's been this entire time.
Yep.
So in like 10 or so minutes, he doesn't even realize we're gone.
Oh.
I do like the new face on the new Otto. He doesn't look like a soulless killer now.
Now, see, the thing that I thought was funny that I pointed out to Bam last time that we had the older Auto Mini is that the way that it was modeled makes it look like an old like Half-Life character model where the face texture is just kind of plastered onto it, so the new one is much better.
Yeah. It's like
Okay.
I mostly got it because all that teeth on the armor just matches him and his patron, so it just works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
got
it's
too much
better than
personality
face
now.
plastered on.
Yep.
Everyone's assembling and getting ready for the ball. Last I heard. I came to get you, so you weren't left out of the.
Oh, okay. And he'll start making his way.
In here.
Oh, there's a black cat on the stairs.
Yeah, you see a same familiar black cat. He's just been sitting on the stairs watching y'all for unnoticed for probably 30, 40 minutes. Just watching y'all intently.
This room's getting crowded.
I've returned with Otto.
Heck,
How was your experiment, Faye?
I found, well, I was mostly looking to compare it to what samples I already have, and I've told Klaus and Associate here that it appears that the blood that we collected from the creature in the street is anywhere from twice to thrice as potent as the flare blood that I have. Both of them have psionic properties. Very strong stuff. We'll definitely have to consider what it can be used for.
Hmm.
Dragon just knocks the lettuce off and is now starting chomping down the apples.
And then he looks over towards the dragon. He's like, ah, yes, somebody should probably deal with that as well. I'm no good with animals.
Silas, how about you? You're taking it with you.
A step forward. Why don't you come on? I got a nice treat for you.
Are you gonna make him animal handling?
Yep. Lettuce.
Oh god.
I want to see what he rolls.
I think he has it pretty bad too.
Probably 0 like me.
Phalar has a little bit of a decent, like, thing for it because of ability modifier, but I'm not gonna take that risk because it feels like anytime I try to roll something that isn't a proficiency or expertise, it tanks.
Oh no. He rolled real. He is a +2 and he rolled a 5.
Oh my god.
It's like you see the dragon just ignores him and keeps eating the apples.
Either that or it's now afraid of him temporarily because, I mean...
Now just like it's ravenously eating, knocks the basket off. Now just making its way, knocks the barrel of flour off, and jumps into the barrel of water.
Why don't you cast sleep on it, Silas, and take it with you?
Why did you bring
Yes,
it in my house
oh.
anyway?
So the arcane eye wouldn't take it? Would you not rather us have this than the arcane eye? I don't see too many dragons flying around freely.
Oh.
And I'd rather it be for us than for some powerful enemies.
Now it kind of dives out, just dripping water everywhere. Kind of walks past you, Phalar, over
Close that door.
over the Singe, and then it starts like pushing its nose against his leg.
Can Singe pull out a barrel and toss in like some food into the barrel.
Yeah, you can do that.
And he'll offer the opening of the barrel to the little creature, assuming it'll fit.
Make animal handling.
Uh, not well, with a roll like that, 9 total.
I'll say
Would
it.
you like to
Let's
fill
say
in here?
like sticks his head in, looks at the meat, looks at our food you put in, sticks its head back out.
Guess he did eat enough looking around the room.
Let's see.
Then turns and runs out the door.
No, off it goes.
Starts wandering this way.
I'm gonna chase after it.
Gonna try to.
Uh,
Hmm.
can I make a history check on myself to see if I know what brass dragons like?
Yeah.
22.
Ooh, maybe, yeah.
You know, typically that brass dragons are coastal. They tend to eat fish and stuff along the shore. Generally as they get older and wiser, they tend to stay out of most conflicts. They will only pick sides that benefit themselves. And generally they tend to at least as they get older tend to dislike those who commit evil acts.
Is there a rope anywhere in sight?
Not in there.
Uh, can I? Uh, if it wasn't a ritual, I could cast it on it. Damn it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna take off in the air. Starts slowly. Fly about 25 feet in the air.
I'm gonna yell on the side. Silas, you got any ideas?
AR is just kind of sitting there because he's got absolutely no idea. It looks like he's trying to think, but he's at a loss.
Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Singe is going to start casting Arcane Lock on his bag of holding clothes and on the barrel. And then, as long as there's still time,
It's
he's gonna.
slowly getting higher and higher in the air.
Silas, can you cast Dominate Monster?
I don't have that spell prepared.
What about Sleep? Anything?
I'm gonna take off this way.
Sinji's gonna do his fiery transformation and attempt to fly after it. Jumping out of his suit of armor.
Okay. What's your fly speed in your transformation?
30 feet hover? I don't know how well that climbs at all.
See,
I
if y'all had drawn the card for this, it would have treated one of y'all as its parents. But it's the only person who drew it is gone.
It's just lost.
Yeah.
It's like the
So I'm
damn
gonna
JoJo episode where someone loses control over their stand and it goes haywire.
Zip
Sinji's
over
gonna
here.
try and fly after it and capture it in the bag of holding.
It has a fly speed of 60 feet, so
Is it dashing to get away from me? I could dash after it.
I'm just gonna start running the way I see it going. I'm gonna start heading to the docks. That's where I think it's going.
yeah,
To the
it's
sea.
definitely zipping toward the docks.
Oh. Yeah, I'd have to dash after it anyway. It's only gonna last a minute.
I'm gonna rip my mask off. If I can yell, I'm gonna take the 2d6 of psychic. I'll take one more d6. One more d6.
Oh, kill.
I'll take 16 points.
Oof.
It's already a foot drop. Just
And I want to look around and see if I see any barrel of fish anywhere.
On the docks, make a perception check.
Perception. 22.
You do see I don't know if you can see fish some have been offloaded right there. If you see where
Way
my
far
pointers
away.
are.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run all the way over there.
I could totally
The
see
other side of the
Sinji's
dock.
transformation running out right here and setting whatever this is on fire.
Well, yeah. Anything that's flammable with your proximity in starts catching fire.
When I get over here, I want to kick the barrels of fish over, dumping them out, and yelling at the brass dragon saying I got fish for it.
Make
catch
it
its attention.
animal handling.
Because fish is a coastal thing.
I'm gonna roll shit for this. Oh, natural 20.
Nice. It hears fish.
I say it's like kind of floating in the air. what kind of watching from above. I don't even see your money. Oh, there it is. So it flies down about halfway. Investigate.
I'll grab a piece of the fish and hold it out, offering it to it.
A little closer.
I'll just say, "Come here. I'm not trying to hurt you." And I will take one in my hand and toss it up to it.
Catches it.
I'll bend down and get another one.
Got its attention for now. But still is very much. You can tell it's very much by its behavior, still very much necessarily scared, just confused and unsure.
Uh, that's something on itself. It wouldn't work anyways. Uh, let's see. I'll try and make myself show it I'm not a threat and I'm trying to help it.
Okay, make another animal handling.
I'm gonna roll on that one. Here we go. On that one. Okay, 15. It was almost the one.
Oof. They will land.
I will uh sit down and start tossing fish at it. Not at its face, like on the ground next to it.
Okay.
Just trying to get it to trust me more.
You seem to notice that very slowly coming from under it are these like black chains that are just slowly creeping up under it.
And I just want to hand it some more fish, try and scoot closer to it and say, it's okay.
I Got its attention for now.
And I'll try and, with a fish in one hand and then with my open hand, I'll try and feed it the fish and pat its head and pet it.
All right. I take that back. Breast dragon got it good.
Got it good.
So what did take it did Singe collapse after a while?
Yeah, I think around a minute of chasing, he's forced to transform back. I don't know if there's fall damage to apply to landing in this kind of tarp roof.
I think since you're only hovering like just above the ground, you're not really flying, so there wouldn't be any fall damage.
I probably wouldn't have been able to chase it at all then. Alright, then probably
Yeah.
gave up the moment it went over the roof.
I am still here, by the way. Just Phalar isn't actively chasing it, so I'm not saying a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just like, I don't know what to do about it. You guys go deal with it. I mean, in his defense, he got pretty badly wrought out by that aboleth, so he probably wouldn't be much help in focusing on a chase right now.
Looks like fly speed works like normal fly, except hover just means when I'm like stunned or something, I don't fall like flying. I just hover.
Yeah.
In any case, Singe probably just lands in a tarp, starts a small fire, and just ends up running back to Faye in his armor, and hopefully avoids notice because he's small.
I think eventually Silas catches up, staying in a distance. Doesn't say a word, just holds out his hand, starts muttering an incantation under his breath on the dragon.
I'm just gonna keep grabbing fish and petting it, and then let's see.
Spell DC is. Damn. You just see the as you're feeding it, you see the dragon's eyes glow for a second, or it stop as it stops reaching out for a fish, kind of shaking its head, and then turns its head and glares at Silas. To run over to Silas. And just coughs this like yellow mist in his face. Little dragon, I tried to play nice. Nice is overrated. He flicks his hand. And you see a dragon is now wrapped in these black chains.
I'll start walking up behind it.
The dragon's restrained now, so it can't do
Okay.
anything. Speed is technically 0.
I'm going to ask Silas if he has any way for me to communicate with it.
Not
If
at
he, if
this.
he knows.
Not at this age. I think unfortunately not until it's older. Still young and learning.
Well, I'll take some fish. I'll walk back over and get some fish. Try and find a knapsack or something laying around and fill it with fish.
Okay.
I'll walk back over, pull one out, and show the dragon, and put it back in the bag and hand it to Silas, and pat it on its head and say, "Go with him. He will protect you."
He looks at you saying, I'm gonna take this back to the Citadel. You should find plenty of clothes in the closets.
Sounds good.
And they're both Danish.
So I'll start making my way back. Did Sin start a fire when he fell? Do I see a fire going?
Probably on that tarp building is probably now on fire. Yeah, so like here, this building is probably on fire. They're dead. You're just gonna guard the hole. Meanwhile, back at the house.
A strange creature got away. And just
Ah.
probably when he run back to the art where he missing one of his arms. Or
As,
like holding it in the other hand.
Here's a question. Would enough time have passed for Phalar to potentially sneak a short rest in there?
Yeah, I would say so.
Because he hasn't really been doing much this whole time.
Yeah, I'll say
so. He's probably. I'll determine how much better he's feeling by how well he heals.
Yeah, since you've been doing minimal activity, I'd say yeah.
Let's see. It's not doing the rolling, so I'll just that's 3d8 plus 3. Boink. 19.
Not bad.
Actually, that might pop me. I'm 2 points off full.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got, for like just the general knowledge reminder, I've got 83 HP.
That Guardian hadn't absorbed some of that damage. Oh boy.
That would have been half of my HP in one hit. If it was 48, I've got 83. That's over half. Because half is 41.
Yeah, above a table, that Psychic Lance did 1088 damage. So it could have been a whole lot worse.
I can only imagine. But yeah, Phalar's probably feeling quite a bit better. Cinch will probably be able to notice that he is not like rubbing his head or anything anymore, and he's just kind of looks over and he's like, I'm assuming the others are possibly still chasing it. I see you got a bit of damage. Well, what should we do while we wait?
Probably by this point, that probably Klaus comes walking in.
Ah, Faust, you've arrived as well. Kind of waves at him. He's like, I'm feeling a lot better. That thing that we took down, it did a number to my process for a bit there. It was quite a strange feeling. It was almost like the first time that I ever drank too much, and that's hard for me to do.
Anybody else?
You look over and he's got like the silence collar on.
Maybe he muted himself.
Sorry, I didn't realize I muted again. I would say Silas said he had clothes in his closets we could use.
Oh, that is very nice.
Let's start making my way up. Going into the X room, have either of you seen Lady Ophelia or where she went?
You say that
Hey,
as you walk right past her.
Oh, I didn't see her. Oh, because my height was set too low. I didn't see her standing on top
I
of
want
the
to
chair.
like, do we want to do that in character? Like you walk past her as you're saying it?
Oh, no, I got sucked off.
I think you're on the second floor now.
And as we're all,
Yeah, you're on the
getting
second floor now.
situated, Phalar kind of calls out and he's like, we're going to have to see if we can find anything that will be good coverage across my body, as the more of me that is covered, the less of my glow comes through.
I think Klaus is like, as you say that, as you go walking past, she's like, she has like, I think you two notice like she has a look like she wants to say something, and just doesn't.
I'd say Phalar probably looks over and is like, he was just chasing a dragon, give him a moment.
I can tell.
And I'll come back down. I'll come back and turn around and I'll see her. I'm like, oh, there you are. Sorry about that. I was preoccupied.
I could tell.
Well, shall we go and find something to wear?
Yes. You'll start heading upstairs.
Movement rules is such a rabbit hole to get lost in.
Technically, his bedroom's on the 3rd floor, but
Yeah.
So what are Faye and Otto doing? And what was the whole plan of the preparing for the ball?
So we're all getting ourselves dressed in like fancy wear or whatever for the ball that we're going to, and Phalar is also likely searching through the clothing and everything, or is, asking about doing so, and he mentioned that for him, we're likely going to need something that covers a lot of his skin, because the less of him that's covered, the more his glow comes through. If you notice that it does in fact go over the clothing that he's wearing.
Literally just like a walking armor suit too. I don't know how he dressed me up.
I'll say for the sake of
We'll put a hat on the Guardian.
I'll say for
We'll give him those fancy feather
for
hats.
simplicity, y'all can pick what your fancy wear is. You know where it's like what your fancy wear would look like in terms of
I
looks.
shift weave the armor suit into a polished, recently polished version of the new armor Adonia provided.
Phalar's probably got, like, he'll try to find something that would match his normal palette without as much exposure on the skin and stuff. So like he'll probably, because it's like a ball and everything, he'll probably get himself like a mask that covers the upper half of his face, and then find clothing that's in his normal black and red but more vibrant
Yeah, all right.
instead of all faded.
Klaus is going to wear a dark purple and black suit that is going to show off his skull tattoo in the middle and
Okay.
stuff.
Much.
Kind of like what I put in general chat.
I think for Faye, pretty much what you could imagine it is like your typical like conquistador musketeer kind of thing. He's got like the overcoat, the under buttons shirt, and then he's got like the high boots and pants and everything, masquerade mask, and then the feathered hat.
And I'll say during this, I would say during your search classes when you find the invitations, I think that Silas left y'all.
Alright.
Since y'all technically have an extra one, since Silas doesn't want to go at all.
I mean, I don't blame him, considering he's being looked for.
I'll give one
What better
to
place to look for a noble that the Arcane Eye is searching for than a ball with nobles at it?
Lady Ophelia. I'll hand the rest to the other guys.
But you see, as you look at these invitations, the colors in the paper always seem to change. And as you see on the very bottom is a family seal, which Klaus you recognize as belongs to the Winter Royal family in the Feywild. This is a masquerade ball within the Feywild.
Mm.
Well, guys, it looks like this masquerade is taking place in the Feywild, so we're gonna have to try and figure out a way to get there.
Hmm. Fairly kind of like taps his chin a little bit, and he's like, if nothing else, wasn't there a portal into the Feywild in the town that we were in?
Yes, there was in Shadowfell.
So that's one option,
Yes,
I
it
do
is.
suppose.
But with all these nobles going, I'm sure there has to be some circle that would take us straight there.
Ah, yes, this is also a good point.
Like you're have these thoughts of how we're gonna go there, and you look down on the invitation, and it says, "For all those from the material plane, go to this specific place." Just it gives almost like what seems like coordinates to some place south of Vale.
Well, it looks like we should get dressed and get ready to head that way.
Yes, most likely.
We should probably sleep tonight and head out first thing in the morning.
All right, so go and get some sleep for you. Go off to the Feywild.
Uh, before we go to sleep, I want to ask Singe if I can have a private conversation with him.
What about?
Oh, just something I want to tell you that I found out.
But do you only want to tell me in private?
Yes.
I can move y'all to the secret channel.
No,
I
Okay.
we don't have to go there. So we can just
Okay.
fail
You,
on that.
Father Todd told me not to go alone with strange men.
Well, I'm not strange. We have been traveling together for a while.
You're quite strange.
Well,
Have you found acquired materials you wanted for the items you wanted crafted yet?
Hmm?
The few times you spoke to me before, it was a request designs for equipment you wanted. But
yes,
I mentioned you need materials.
yes, this is not it. This is a more personal matter.
Hmm. Oh, I'm not sure how I could help.
Well, I'm just gonna say it out in the open then. I went and had your arcane lock dispelled off my bag of holding,
Oh, so
And
you did notice it.
I did. And I wanted to tell you not to do it again.
Oh, okay.
May I ask why you put an arcane lock on my bag of holding?
It was an experiment to see various things. If you would notice, if it would keep your items secure from would-be thieves of our party.
Well, next time you'd like to do anything like that, talk to me first.
Very well.
Alright, well, I guess we should head to sleep then. If y'all want to
Were
head back.
you dissatisfied with the effects of the spell?
It just made it hard for me to get into my bag.
I wasn't supposed to do that. Odd. He start looking into his own bag and ask Otto and Faye, can you reach into my bag here? And he'll like whisper a command to the bag.
Otto will reach into the bag.
Works fine for you, huh? You're like,
Valar will also do it.
that seems to be operating correctly for me. Maybe someone's tried to tamper with your inventory. I'm sorry it failed to properly protect it. You're not missing anything, are you?
No, I'm not.
When did you last check?
Last night.
Ah, around the same time you removed this spell?
I removed the spell a little bit before that.
Oh. This is very useful information. I hope everyone's bags and inventory are safe.
Yes, me too. I would hate for somebody to wind up hurt from messing with other people's things.
Oh yeah, me and Otto were damaged this morning. Our his Otto's room exploded the moment he left.
Strange.
Did anyone experience anything similar at their lodgings?
I stayed
I
here
was
with Lady Ophelia last night, so I do not experience
I
anything.
was fine in the morning.
Did Faye stay in the same tavern?
I was downstairs. I had fallen asleep in my lab. The explosion is what woke me. So above table, to recap, pretty much, Phalar spent, because you get 2 hours of light activity during your long rest, and his were spent reading his herbology book, and then he proceeded to fall asleep in the hole in the tavern.
The tavern keeper just left a hole in his floor.
Yeah, because it's a 6-foot diameter, and there's a man inside of it, and he's probably like, well, I don't know what to do about this.
Okay.
It's like, that's
Because
weird.
if you take the portable hole and pick it up, then it seals it, and then the oxygen source gets cut off. So if he was aware of that, he was probably like, well, I don't want to kill a guy.
Yeah.
And the blast is what woke him up, and then that's when he went up the stairs and was like, what the hell?
walls and rooms splattered in acid. The owner must have questions as well. There's been a lot of strange goings on in this tavern.
Yeah. So, y'all can head back to the tavern. I'm gonna stay here at Lady Ophelia again. We can head out in the morning.
I'm going to investigate this strange matter. Destroyed my armor and nearly killed some of our party members. And head
Yeah.
back to the tavern and try to research what.
I am gonna have to head out for the night. My voice is killing me.
All right, we can call it here.
Sure.
You know what's interesting is while we've all been chatting, here I'll send it real quick. I just